Money is the root of all evil, right? Think about it. Most of the issues and problems that you currently have in your life is because of what? The lack of money, right? Most problems that you've had with women, people, or even in your relationships probably had something to do with what? Money. But guess what? It's all a trick. Money is literally, they know exactly what they're doing. Like the elite know what they're doing because the money doesn't have any value. The only value the dollar has is you working behind it. Because as you know, they're not even paying you out of what they make and profit from these companies. No, any big corporation outside of small businesses, they're paying you out of your social security account that's connected to multiple bank accounts. And that's how you get paid from your job. They're not paying. That's how the big companies stay big and the smaller companies stay small. But my thing is, if we know that this money already belongs to us and this money has no value, why do we kill each other for it? Why does it break up families? Why does it, like, we gotta, they create, look at how evil the dollar bill is. They created it to separate us. Because they know once they could divide us, they could also conquer us. Because they know once we all stick together, there's no conquering. Divide and conquer is their thing. So that's why we must boycott the system. Everybody needs to quit going to fucking work. Y'all have to do it in order to help the frequency of the planet. Chosen ones, quit your job today. You have to.
Yo, I got some bone-chilling videos to share with you guys about Yellowstone. But answer me this. Is Yellowstone supposed to look like this right now, y'all? All this geothermal activity, is it supposed to look like this, y'all? You're going to want to turn the volume up for this over here. Now, there's this guy posting clips around Yellowstone of the ground literally groaning, y'all. Like giant marching ants are underground, like they're coming up, y'all. Check this out. Y'all hear that? It literally sounds like a helicopter, y'all. Something's boiling under there. It's a heartbeat. That's not all, y'all. He says he can feel it in his bones, in his spine. It sounds like the animals are running. And just to prove to you that it's gotten more intense over time, he puts a water bottle on the grass and this thing is jumping around like it's at a kid and play party. That's crazy, y'all. Listen. Y'all, the animals were warning us. Y'all remember those eggs they found in the water near a volcano where it sounds like they hatched? But the shift is here, y'all. Let me know what you guys think about this. So you guys know that shift that I've been talking about, y'all? Well, it's here. There has been a major reversal in the ocean's current in the Southern Ocean, y'all. Y'all know what this means? Let me let her speak.
Okay, so this is serious news and I don't know why it's not being reported more, but there has been a major reversal in ocean circulation in the Southern Ocean, meaning that in the Antarctic there has been a sudden salt surge causing the ice to melt at a rapid pace. This is happening right now. For the first time, the current has reversed. This has never happened before and they are witnessing it right now, and I don't know why it's not being put out.
Okay, before we get deep, y'all gotta understand what's going on, okay? When you hear things in the physical, okay, in the spiritual, in the metaphysics, there's a whole complex of array of things that are taking place, right? So y'all gotta understand what Antarctica represents on this planet. It's called Ain't-Arctica, so it's not supposed to be frozen, okay? That's why the Southern Ocean is getting saltier now, because salt is something that is used to melt away ice, meaning it was never supposed to be frozen in the first place. But before we go in, you gotta understand everything that you see or hear in the physical is only a minor reflection of a grand scheme of things that's taking place in the metaphysical. Meaning there's a deeper force that's moving that most people can't see. Now, with that being said, you got to understand what Antarctica really represents. You see, Antarctica represents the subconscious mind of the planet. This is where memories, timelines, ancient technology, and soul codes were literally frozen in miles and miles of ice, y'all. And ice represents amnesia. You're frozen in time and space. So what's happening with the water now? Well, it's melting, right? Water represents the consciousness of the planet. This is the bloodline. This is literally the bloodline of the earth. As you can see over here, long-term memory, right? We've forgotten who we are, but now we're waking up to this, right? belief, what we believe, all this government, all this stuff is breaking down right now. Dreams, right? The great American dream, because we have been dreaming. So now we're starting to tap into the psychic abilities. Those who are connected to the earth are waking up. Our pineal gland, we're getting our abilities back. The age of Aquarius is about water and consciousness. And now beneath Antarctica, which symbolically represents the subconscious mind of the planet, the waters are starting to speak again, y'all. So when the subconscious mind of the planet thaws out, and we know that water holds memory, this means buried truth comes to the surface. So this is Atlantean technology, DNA memory, okay? Pre-flood civilizations are gonna come to the surface, hence why all these lands are being found, new lands, right? This is ancient intelligence coming to the surface. So we are tapping back into ourselves in the planet once again. And let me tell you, y'all, the people who study this, they are worried because they know this is time to say goodbye. Because even the Bible tells us that we are the salt of the earth, hence why the term salty, right? They're about to be salty, y'all, and this is the reason why, because we're getting our memories back. The shift is here. Let me know what you guys think about this video, y'all.
Shalom, all praises, glory, honor, and fear to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Much love to the elect that are fighting a good fight of faith, holding on to the new covenant, fulfilling the law, and enduring all things in these evil, dark, and heavy times, and it's like we're on a ship, and people that have very, very little faith starting to jump off the ship, or they're trying to go crazy because this is something that the Lord said would happen in the end, is that men's hearts would be failing them. So we're seeing all these prophecies take place, and the world is shifting. The world that as we know, it's not going back to normal. We're in drastic changes. We're in a huge transition. So you have to be willing to give up this life, give up this world now, and the material and the things and the possessions that we have here now, in order to obtain that eternal treasure, that eternal life. So this is Matthew 13 and verse 21. It says, verse 19, because another thing too is that you have the enemy, the Edomites, the 2/3, the heathens. They give all this power to all these false gods and all these idols, and they oppress our nation so severely that it's all about divide and conquer. They want us to fight and quarrel and argue and be mad at each other because of petty things and things that are irrelevant and things that are really about to be destroyed, and they want us to destroy ourselves because of their classism and their oppressions, and their trying to keep us on the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So just like that video in the introduction, that sister was talking about, we need to basically just seek in, do inner work. We're not going to get delivered or get saved or get helped from being a good slave and being a good employee and doing everything that your boss tells you, the Edomites tell you. No, you're supposed to just detach. We're in a time of detaching, starving the flesh, feeding the spirit. Because the Lord said in Zechariah 4:6, not by might, not by sword, but by his spirit, the Lord's going to deliver us and protect us and bring us through these troublesome times. Matthew 13:19, when anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart, which is the word. This seed which receives seed by the wayside, but he that receives seed into the stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. Yet hath he no root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. You see that? So you have to understand, when tribulations come into your life and persecutions and hardships and turmoil, you can't be offended by it. You have to understand what is the will of the Lord. And this is why, Lord, he's raising up 144,000 men of the house of David That even though the whole world comes against us, family, wives, friends, brothers, sisters, whatever, enemies, whatever, heathens come against us, we keep our integrity and we keep our crown. We hold our crown. We keep our body holy. We don't fall into temptation. We don't fall into darkness. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we've been called to be as leaders, as chosen ones in these last days. We're that light in darkness. We're overcoming all the evil with good. We're alchemizing. We're transmuting the darkness into light. Just like when Neo, he had Agent Smith put his hand through him, try to turn him into darkness, turn him into another Agent Smith, turn him into a clone, turn him into everybody else's, how everyone else thinks, how everyone else believes. You know what I'm saying? You can't think like everybody else. That means that our life is not going to be like everybody else's. And that's why it says in Wisdom of Solomon, our life is not like other men's. It's not supposed to. It's not intended to be. So Lord said, don't think it's strange, your trials, which is to try you, or some strange thing that's happening to you. We were called unto this, to drink this cup, to go through what we're going through, Lord talked about how we need to be strong for the weak. Romans 15 and verse 1, we then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak and not to please ourselves. Let every one of us please his neighbor for his good to edification. You see, so that's what we've been called to do. Luke 21. Matter of fact, let's go to Job. Job 2 and 9. Then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. So Job's wife in this situation, when things were getting really, really bad, she cracked because she's a wicked vessel. She said, do you still keep your integrity? And the word integrity means keeping things together, being unity, right? Unified. Integrity, honest. Quality, being honest and having strong moral principles. State of being whole and undivided, right? Whole and undivided. So this world, Satan, the enemy, the adversary, their whole agenda, their whole purpose is to divide us. It's to corrupt us. It's to take away our integrity, to take away our love, our joy, you see? So this is Job 2 in verse 10 says, but he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What, shall we receive good at the hand of God? And shall we not receive evil? You see? And all this did not Job sin with his lips. See, because Job understood that the Lord is about a perfect balance. An unjust balance is an abomination to the Lord. So when people have a life and everything is just so easy, so good, they have everything handed to them, they don't go through any trouble, they don't go through any hardships, that's an unjust balance. Their life is an abomination. And that's how majority of people are living their life, because they worship the beast in his image. They worship the dragon. You see? But those of us who worship the Lord in spirit and truth, our life is, we're at war. Our life is difficult. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not selling our soul. We're not giving away our soul to the devil, to the enemy, to the adversaries. You see what I'm saying? So let's go to 1 Samuel 30 and 6. And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his sons and for his daughters. But David encouraged himself in Yahweh his power. So, this came out on the last video we talked about, because it's so relevant to this time we're living in. Our people that are very weak and very limited on belief and faith, they just want to kill us. They just want to do away with us. They want to just cut us off. They want to not talk to us anymore. They want to divorce us, whatever the case is, because it's not coming fast enough. The deliverance, the salvation, you know what I'm saying? And that's why the Lord also talked about there's going to come a day when they're going to desire the day of the Lord, or want the Lord, and they're not going to see it. Luke 17 and verse 21. Uh, 22. And he said unto his disciples, the days will come when ye shall desire to see one of the days of the Son of Man, and ye shall not see it. You see that? And they shall say to you, see here or see there, go not after them, nor follow them. You see, because without faith, it's impossible to please the Lord. And faith is the evidence of things hoped for, things not seen as of right now. So Lord said, when he comes back, shall he find faith on the earth? Because faith is very rare. And that's why we're his faithful, fervent lovers that are keeping the faith and keeping ourselves pure and clean, right? Not being polluted with the limitations and disbelief and unfaithfulness and incredulity and the wickedness of the world, right? Luke 21:33 says, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. So this world, these things, this physical, this system, it's all passing away. It's self-destructing. So if you want to hold on to it and, you know, love it and believe on it and worship it and be a part of it and stay in the matrix, and you're going to be destroyed with it. So this is why we're telling our people, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins. Meaning, don't let your heart be set upon this world and things of the world and building up yourself in this world and being comfortable in this world. You see, Luke 21:34, and take heed to yourselves, that at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. You see that? Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. So you see the ground shaking, the ground making noise, the currents in the water changing for the first time ever. All these things because we're in a shift. We're in a transition of power and transition of the kingdom. From the kingdom of darkness, the kingdom of everything upside down, to the kingdom of things right side up. You see? Romans 12:21, be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. So you cannot serve two masters. And this is Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. So you can't serve God in spirit and truth and then want to serve mammon. It doesn't work that way. You know, you have to serve one or the other. You have to worship and praise one or the other, and give your attention, give your time, and give your energy to one or the other. And the sad part about it, and that's why with much wisdom and much sorrow, is because majority of people, they're going to serve and they're going to choose mammon. They're going to serve and choose money. They're not going to serve and choose Yahweh Shem Yahshai, because it comes with a lot of sacrifice. It comes with a lot of pain. It comes with a lot of people being disappointed in you. It comes with a lot of people hating you and forsaking you. You see, which the Lord said that we would go through that. You shall be betrayed both by family and people closest to you. You know, so this is the red pill. You know, the blue pill, the red pill, the matrix. This is that red pill, and this is the truth. You know. The truth shall set you free, and that freedom comes with detaching from this world, you know, being set apart, being holy, you know. And Lord said how riches profit not in day of God's wrath. So we're in these times of God's wrath. Proverbs 11:4, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivered from death. See, righteousness delivered from death. You know, our righteousness isn't of ourselves or what we're doing. It's of Yahweh Shai. That's our righteousness. Right? Righteousness is the quality of being morally right or justifiable goodness, right? So the Lord talked about how a house divided cannot stand, but has an end. Mark 3:25. And if a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand. And this house of these heathens, right, partly iron, partly clay, in Daniel's vision in Daniel 2, it's not unified. It's not together. That's why you just had in the news this morning, like Thailand is going to war against like Singapore or something like that. You know, like Thailand and one of those Pacific Asian countries are like rumors of wars over there now too. You see? And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but at an end. So they're not able to stand against the wiles of the devil. They're not able to stand up and fight. You're going to fall down. You're going to have an end with Esau. You're going to have your end with Esau. You see? And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. And we know that this is all the end of Esau's reign. Let's go 2 Ezra 6 and 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So better is the end of a thing than the beginning. So the end of Esau being on top and enslaving the whole planet, and the wicked economy and the wicked taxation and all this corruption, it's coming to an end. It's at its end now. It's not going back to normal like COVID, it's going to go back to normal. No, it's not going to go back to normal. People are going to be judged for taking the mark of the beast. People are going to be judged for, not believing the prophets and just going back into the world. There's the judgment is awakening now. So our prayers, Lord said that the prayer out of a poor man's mouth reacheth the clouds of heaven, and it will come speedily fast. Sirach 21 and 5, a prayer out of a poor man's mouth, right? Poor man. So that's who the Lord is with. He's with the poor men, that those that haven't sold out and those that have it tough in this life. The Lord said, blessed are the poor, for yours is the kingdom of heaven. All right, let's go to
You'll fly. Get ready to bounce.
Proverbs 22 and verse 22. It says, rob not the poor because he is poor, and neither oppress the afflicted in the gate. For Yahweh will plead their cause and spoil the soul of those that spoiled them. So this is all going into, he that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He that kills the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's a faith and patience of the saints. Patience doesn't mean, you wait for one day and then, okay, I want to get this and I want to get that. No, patience is you wait while everyone else doesn't wait. You endure, So this is a prayer out of a poor man's mouth reaches the ears of God, and his judgment cometh speedily. You see, speedily. He that hateth to be reproved is in the way of sinners, but he that feareth the Lord will repent from his heart. You see, so it's all about repentance. And it's all about, because the Lord said in Proverbs, right? He said to guard the heart, because all the issues of life come from that. Proverbs 4 and 23, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. So you have to have a good heart, whether you be, let's go to Ecclesiastes. And the Lord said, all things are possible to him that believeth. So you always just have to keep the faith, pray always, and always believe that the Lord will come through. And the Lord always comes through. He comes through in such magnificent, amazing ways. The Lord said, with food and raiment, let's be contented with. But a lot of people in this world, they're not content with that, because they're following the ways and the image of the beast and the heathens, the Edomites. They're not content. They have more than the heart could wish. They're fat, like it says in Proverbs, and they still want more. That's not enough. They want to enslave the whole world. They want to do this. They want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And the whole world is under their vibration. You can't have one bed. You need 3 beds. You can't have one. You know what I'm saying? It's a plague. It's a plague, man. It's a plague. Sirach 26 and 4, whether a man be poor or rich, whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart toward the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. See, rejoice. And that's what the Lord told us to do as his holy apostle and prophet. He said to rejoice, for the Most High has avenged you on her. So Lord, he's avenging us of this world. And I just want to make a shout out to all those that have been, helping support in prayers and thoughts, and helping with alms and charity. It's been really helping a lot. A little update on the update of me. I basically have been fired from the whole Uber and Lyft and all that, so I'm not able to do that. So I've just been doing DoorDash, and that's pretty low on money. But like the Lord said, He said, don't take no thought for your life. And these are definitely the last days. So things are coming to an end. They're coming to a close. Things are closing up. And the Lord said how there shall be no more work for Egypt, head or tail. So the work is coming to an end. The labor is coming to an end. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say a big water for all you, few brothers and sisters that have been, helping however way you can. And, just keep fighting. Our deliverance, our salvation is nearer than what we even realize and believe. So keep your head up and enjoy the Lord's revelations and His marvelous works which He's doing in the earth right now, man, because He's doing it for His beloved, to protect us, to deliver us, keep us safe, and bring us together. And so shall we ever be with the Lord. Don't let the incredulity of those that don't have any faith and don't have any belief trouble you or get you down, because they're going to be destroyed with this world, man. They're not going to enter into those chariots. They're not going to enter into the Lord's kingdom, because they're not pleasing Him with faith. They're displeasing Him with no faith. You see? So with that, all praises, glory, honor, and fear to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Barak HaKodash. And my eye has been healing. Yeah, Conan, I was healing because my eye was really bothering me, but it's starting to heal up really good now. And I don't put no trust in man or a physician, right? The Lord said in Job, they are physicians of no value. So I'm not gonna waste my time or little money that I have to go to a doctor. So I just, I fasted, prayed, ate some garlic because it's very high in antibacterial, and it's healing up really good now. So praise the Lord for that. So all praises, Lord, honor, faith, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Lord, when you was edified, stay strong, keep the faith, and endure just for a little moment longer, man. We're almost out of here. Shalom. Baba Ball.
You'll fly, get ready to bounce.